Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the fourth pair. I am Sam Meehan. My friend Alec Skarzinski here. Alec,
How's it
how you
going,
doing?
everybody? I'm doing great. I'm down in sunny Key Largo, Florida, enjoying some weather and some incredible hockey too.
Yeah, it's been a fun season already so far. What is it? We're just recording this Sunday afternoon, so this is the fifth day of hockey we got, and oh, what a start! If this whole season's like this, we're in for a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think I saw a tweet. It said there's 116 consecutive days of hockey, so we're five down. We
Wow.
got 111 to go.
So buckle in, folks. All right, so we had our picks from the first episode. Alec, I'm gonna let you start with this one.
Yeah, so I'm really disappointed in myself. Also disappointed in you, but mostly myself.
Mm,
I went 1-4 to start the season. That's just a bad first impression. I don't think it's characteristic of who I am as a person or who I am as a hockey fan. I'm really, like I said, disappointed in myself, and I think as well. That's not who I am.
yeah.
So I apologize to my fans, to anyone that's watching, and honestly, I apologize mostly to myself. I'm better than that.
Yeah, well, I went 2-4 in my picks, but I'm not gonna call it a terrible night because I had Montreal who blew that game, should have won, and two, I had over 5.5 in Colorado, St. Louis. How the fuck did that not hit? Like,
Yeah.
but either way, it could have been 4-2, but it was 2-4 instead. Whatever, but that happens in sports betting. All right,
Yes.
well, yeah.
Let's
What you got?
I just want to recap real quick exactly what we had. So the first game of the night was let's see here. Penguins Flyers. That was a great game.
Hit that.
Flyers came out hot as I expected.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually the only bet that I hit with my picks. I believe you had Flyers as well.
I had the Flyers as well.
Okay. Second game, Canadian game, Toronto against Montreal.
I had Montreal.
I believe we both had
Yeah, I
Montreal.
think so.
So 1-1 right now. The next game was Chicago, Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I had Chicago puck line.
You also had under 6.5. I had over 6.5. Final score is 5-1. All
Oh,
right.
so I did hit that. I did hit that. Okay.
Yeah. So you're 2-1. I'm 1-2. Then we got the Canadian game, Vancouver against Edmonton. I had Edmonton. You had Vancouver, I believe. So that makes you 3-1.
Actually, I did have a good night.
Yeah.
I think
And that makes
I posted different pics a day of. I think
that
on my
that
Twitter.
makes
So
that makes me 1-3. And then to cap off the night, my St. Louis Blues against Colorado. I took Colorado. You took
yeah,
Colorado as well. So you went 3-2, and I went 1-4.
and
But
not bad.
I would like to point out though, I hit a 5-team parlay. I think I faded all of my picks basically. It was a 3 to win $110 5-team parlay on DraftKings. So
Yeah, that was great. I remember you sending me that. That was good for you. I need one of those
so
right now.
I should just do that, but on the podcast this time.
Yeah, just give out picks like when we're talking about them to people, not like just us two. All right. So should we move into some news that we've gotten in the past week? Uh, so I guess we'll start out with Matt Barzal finally signed his extension with the Islanders, and what the hell? You got 3 for $21 million. It's a very backloaded contract. I think he's getting $4 million this year, 7 next year, and 10 in the third year, which just screams the way the Islanders like to operate. They're going to trade him that year. When they're like, oh, we don't pay him $10 million. Let's send him packing like to somewhere with an actual fan base.
Of course, the first game too, he's re-signed. He goes and scores a beauty of a goal.
Oh my God, he deactivated Tony DeAngelo in that defensive zone on numerous occasions.
Yeah, I'm sure you're not happy about that, but that goal was just gorgeous. And I'm sure Islanders fans are happy that he's there for at least 2 or 3 more years.
Yeah, I could see him actually signing like longer term. Hopefully if there's a new CBA at that point, that there's a bigger cap and he can get more money. But
Yeah, a lot of
$7 million a
these
year for him is criminal.
a lot of these contracts are a little weird because of the pandemic. The cap
Yeah,
hasn't
all.
wasn't raised, so you're seeing
Mhm.
people like Hoffman only signing a 1 year deal, Barzell only signing a three
Yeah,
year
you
deal.
want you want to wait till maybe some revenue comes back, and
Yeah,
you'll get that big jump in the cap and get, instead of getting like 8 or 9 million, you get 10 or 11, even 12 million a year if you're like someone
Panarin.
like Barzal can be. What else do we got? This is I saw this about 2 days ago with young star from Columbus, Pierre Luc Dubois. He is not happy and wants the hell out of Columbus.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad for Columbus. It seems like just any good player that has ever been there has just wanted
Yeah,
out.
like Rick Nash, about 10 years ago when he got traded to the Rangers. Now you got Dubois, Panarin left, Bobrovsky left. It's because it's not a very enticing place to play. Like you know, no one wants to really play in Columbus, Ohio, I guess. But I don't know. I do like the look of that team outside of, like, the team itself is good. They're a great coach with Tortorella, but
I think
I
it's
don't
just
know.
where they are.
Yeah, it's they
I see
want a
why
big market.
LeBron. Yeah, I see why LeBron went to South Beach. Because they pretty consistent in the playoffs. Remember they upset the Lightning 2 years ago in the
Oh
first
yeah,
round. Last year they did pretty well, I
yeah.
believe. I
They
think they made
beat
it to the second round, right?
yeah they beat the Maple Leafs in 5 games in that qualifying round, and then they played the Lightning again. Then they lost in
Oh
five or
yeah.
six, but
Oh,
they
that
had
was the
that they
game.
had that 5 overtime game.
Yeah. And what's his name had over an hour of ice time. Who was it?
Seth Jones.
Seth Jones. Yeah, like in 62 minutes or something
Yeah,
like that. That's just absurd.
unbelievable.
But yeah, something about Columbus, people just don't want to be there. I've personally never been, so I can't speak
Yeah,
for
neither have
players,
I.
but I would assume there's just nothing attractive about being there.
Hmm. And honestly, like, obviously a little biased here, but I think a great fit for Dubois would be with New York.
Of course.
They need centers, and I mean, coming into the league, Dubois had Panarin there, and really, like, kind of saw him as a mentor for his first couple of years. Now he's making that next step, and, like, as a star. And the Rangers, they have plenty of assets, like draft capital, prospects, whatever you name it. They can give it up for Dubois, whatever they're asking for. And I'm all in now. I'm talking myself into this and get my man on the Rangers.
Yeah, being a young player like Dubois, New York City is probably just such an attractive place to play. Not only are you playing at Madison Square Garden, but you're also surrounded by such a young core that could probably realistically go pretty far in the next few years. So just everything about that screams,
Yeah, like
attractiveness.
the
Plus
the
the fact
Rangers
that
are
they
right
could pay
there.
him,
Yeah,
and just getting away from Columbus just seems to be the trend here. So
yeah. We'll see what happens there. All right, what do we want to talk about now?
I would like to touch on potential milestones that could happen this season. I know you had a few written down.
Yeah, like
But
my everyone's got one main one, which is so what is it? 56 games. It's a little not too far fetched for this guy. 35 goals from Ovechkin, and he moves into fourth all time. And he'd be about 100. He'd be how much? He would be about 140 goals short of Gretzky's record.
Gretzky has 894
Mm-hmm.
right
And
now,
35 goals would put Ovechkin at three, or no, three, 741, which would put him at.
which would be tied with Brett Hull for fourth place.
Yep. And then, I mean, so Ovechkin's is how old? Like 36? Was getting into his
Al-
late 30s, I think, right?
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. But he's still got, like, 3 years of elite goal scoring production. I mean, I think Wayne Gretzky created COVID to secure his record of goals, because Ovechkin's breaking that if he's got the rest of that season and this full season this time. But now with, pretty much taking, what, 60, 50 games from him.
Yeah.
If he falls like 2 or 3 goals short, then, like, all right, you got to come back. But
Yeah, if
I think he will break it at some point.
he's almost 200 goals away, which is
Hey,
Wayne Gretzky is just insane, dude.
Yeah,
Um,
the most incredible stat I've ever heard is like if Gretzky had 0 goals, he would still have the most points in NHL history.
which is just I don't think yeah, it's no one's ever gonna be that good ever
Yeah,
again.
no
I
one's gonna
mean,
break the point record, but the goal record's very much in play.
very doable, yes. One of the stats that I was actually really intrigued about was uh, most games played in your career. Patrick Marleau is actually he has the opportunity to break the record this
Really?
season. So right now he is at 1,725 games played. Gordie Howe is first. He finished his career with 1,767.
Ooh.
So he's about 42 games away, I believe. So if
Where is
the
Marlowe?
he is, I think he's in San Jose.
Is he back in San Jose? That's what I
Yeah.
thought. I
And
don't know why I was.
the thing about Marlowe though is that he currently has the longest active Ironman streak in the NHL. So it's very doable. The last time Patrick Marlowe missed a game, the Hannah Montana movie premiered in theaters the next day.
I remember that day. I went to go see that opening night at midnight.
So
It was front
to
row.
April 2009 was the last time he missed a game. So that's just an absurd stat. And that just makes it seem like it's that much more doable because if he doesn't miss a game this season, he's going to finish the season with the most games played in the NHL.
Yeah, I don't see him being like any sort of like healthy scratch at all this year. So if he stays healthy, he'll definitely get it. It's not going to be a matter of the front office like you know messing with him there. And I don't think they would like bench him knowing that record is very much in play.
Yeah, like
He's had a long, nice career in San Jose. They owe him that much.
Florida almost was going to bench Keith Yandel tonight,
That's right.
which would have broken his active Ironman streak as well. But
It's like close to 900 games, right, or something
yeah,
like
but
that.
they just recently decided not to healthy scratch him, so that's great for him as well.
Yeah, Twitter, like, bullying people on Twitter works.
It works. Cyberbullying shows results. Alrighty, so would you like to move on to
I just want to say, I guess, any teams right now that are been a nice, pleasant surprise.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
You got any?
So yeah, actually the main team that I kind of was surprised by. Well, first of all, can we talk about Buffalo? That
I would
they
love to talk about
just
Buffalo.
they just they're not making it easy for me, man. I really want to believe in them, but they're just not doing anything. They just got swept by was it the Capitals, I think? So they're 0-2. They're last place in the East behind Pittsburgh, both New York teams, Boston, and the team that I'm really surprised by, your New Jersey Devils. Number 3 in the East. They have one win over the Boston Bruins, which they got last night in overtime. Incredible goal by that rookie. I forget his name. It's a really long name. And then they lost in a shootout 2 nights before. So right now they're third place in the East. And I mean, the way the playoffs are structured, they could very well make the playoffs. And you're going to see teams that are really good that would normally make the playoffs, but they're just going to miss out on it just because of how it's structured. And I just think that's going to make this year that much crazier.
Yeah, like there's like 7 playoff caliber teams in that, maybe even 8 now because the Devils actually look competent.
The only one that doesn't look great is Buffalo.
Yeah, but even that, like they showed some signs offensively at least in that first game. Well, they lose 6-4. They just they can't stop anything. But
And I believe I bet Buffalo both nights they played too.
oh, so did I. So that was fun.
And then the other team that I was more so disappointed in was St. Louis. Uh, they looked incredible opening night. I said, you know what? There's that 2019 Stanley Cup team. They look great, grinding on all cylinders, just playing their game. Was so excited for the next game, and then they come out. Jordan Binnington saves them first period. All right, maybe we just get some offense going. It won't be too bad, and then the floodgates open. 8-0. Disgusting. Pitiful. I I'm still getting over that. I just
Yeah, that was a beatdown. Like I was really upset after opening night when the Rangers lost 4-0, and then oh boy, I realized it can get a lot worse.
I know Berube is just practice today is probably awful, and I feel so bad for the San Jose Sharks on Monday night because I
Yeah,
know that they're going to take some frustrations out, and an old an old Western Conference rival. I just know that they're going to take some anger out on him. So
yeah, I definitely like St. Louis tomorrow, and like, well, so with the same with the Rangers, like see those two games, that's going to be the Ranger season right there. You're going to have games where they get smacked 4-0, and then those big games they win 5-0. Like that's the inconsistency we're going to have with this team the entire season.
yeah, not only with the Rangers, who I think I mentioned in last episode that they're
Hmm.
kind of a streaky team,
Oh yeah,
but also just this whole season, you're going to see a lot of parity where it's going to be a 2-game series. They're probably going to split it most likely. So like St. Louis, they split it. New York, they split it. A few other teams split too. I think didn't Toronto split with
tor- tor- um,
Montreal?
well, I know Edmonton and Vancouver split. I'm keeping a tally of so far of who's splitting and whatnot. Like as season goes on, whether or not it's leaning towards the
Mm-hmm.
losing team or the winning team in the first game. So that'll be interesting, like a little gambling trend to follow.
Yeah, because it's just interesting though the way because it's kind of like baseball where they'll have like a 2-3 game series
Yeah.
to limit traveling, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, it's just going to be because it's kind of like mini playoff series. Teams are just going to know each other so well, and it's just going to be really interesting to see the way it splits. Um, so
I
one of
think.
the yeah, go ahead.
No, my bad. You go.
I was gonna talk about the segment we were gonna get into
Oh,
if it's
the
time for that. Yes.
yeah. Let's go for it.
Would you like to describe it for the people?
So we got our new segment this week. Now that we got some NFL action going, it will be called the Sin Bin. Any shenanigans going on or off the ice involving the players, coaches, anything. If you feel like it's worthy of a penalty of any sorts, then we're going to talk about it. So, Alec, you want to get going?
Yes. So this week, for the very first sin bin, I would like to hand out a 2-minute minor penalty for inconsistency to the NHL player safety. Uh, so the reason for that is they give Sammy Blais a 2-game suspension for his hit on Devontae's, which it was a dicey hit. I mean, I'm not going to argue that. Do I think it should have only been 1 game? Yes, that's besides the fact though. But then you go back to the next game. Robert Bortuzzo gets hit straight into the head. I forget who the player was on Colorado, but they don't even give him a penalty. It looked just as bad, if not worse, than the Sammy Blais hit. And there's not even a hearing for the player. I just, it seems like they want to set the tempo early, but they're not. They're already losing it. They're not even, keeping it consistent. And that's all I want, just consistency. And I think that's what everyone wants too. So that's 2 minutes in the box for NHL player safety so far.
Yeah, I feel like it's been for years. It's been so inconsistent with when people are getting penalized and not. It's it's getting a little ridiculous, and so yeah, I can even give him fucking major for that. That was they're terrible, and so I'm gonna give for the sin bin Philip Hronik of Detroit. He's gonna get a best actor in a supporting role for his flop yesterday off of a Brady Shea slash. Like this was some, European soccer NBA. Like this is like worse than that. Like this was one of the worst flops I've ever seen. And no embellishment call, just a slash on Brady Shea. And this was in a 2-2 game with about 4 minutes left, leading to a Detroit power play goal and eventually a win.
So was that fourth goal an empty netter? I didn't watch that
Yeah, it
game,
was. It
so
was. Yeah, Dylan Larkin had empty netter to make it 4-2.
but it was close up until that
Yeah,
flop. You're saying? Well,
yeah. It was tie game with under 5 left.
ooh,
And
yeah.
have you
Any
seen it?
penalty? No, but any penalty
So
that late
bad.
in a game like that is most likely going to
Yeah,
turn the
yeah.
tables.
You could I mean, I guess good for the Detroit guy for selling it, and but like the refs got to open their eyes.
Yeah.
it's
It
it's so bad.
it seems like there's an early trend here where we both have problems with the officiating.
The officiating
Uh,
has been rough so far. I've seen like all over Twitter, like numerous fan bases were upset about some really bad calls, just whether like reviewed or not. The Rangers got screwed out of a goal on opening night. It's I know it's early in the season, like it's hope, but I'm giving the benefit of the doubt, I guess. So hopefully they can figure it out. But if they don't, then there's got to be
I think that's also going to be an
something.
interesting trend too, though, because I believe they're going to be having the same ref squads for those series.
Yeah, that makes
So you're going to
sense.
be if you're in Vegas for a 2 game series, you're going to see the same refs you saw the night before. So it's going to be interesting to see if you're stuck with the refs that made an awful call the night before, if they kind of try and make up for it or not. But
And if you're chirping the ref enough, they're just getting pissed off at you. It's your third game in a row with the same crew. Like, all right, screw this guy. Give it's little soft calls all the time. So we're gonna have some fun.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
but all right. So you want to get into tomorrow's picks?
Yeah, I actually haven't pulled up the sheet at all yet, so I'm gonna do that. If you
I'll
would like
I'll,
to,
I'll get going. I got 3 picks for our MLK Day slate. So we got hockey on all day. First game is at noon. Where what was it? Columbus, Detroit. No, real thriller there. Um, I really like Detroit here at plus 135.
okay,
So they're at
okay,
home, and they looked the 2 games they played this season so far. They looked better than any point last season. Um, they got some young guys starting to develop more. Dylan Larkin's still a stud,
hmm,
and this is more about maybe not like about how great Detroit's been because they're not great by any means. They're still not a playoff team, but they're baby steps.
yeah,
It's that Columbus seems to be imploding with Dubois wanting out. The team looks terrible. Like they played 2 games against Nashville, and I thought they'd come out strong, at least compete. No, Nashville pretty much blew them out of the water both games. Actually, first game they had a good period, but it's this team. I want to say Tortorella will at some point get these guys to commit, but I think it's gonna take a little bit. And I like Detroit to pull it up. I like a nice home dog at plus 135. I think that's a lot of value there.
okay.
Uh,
So with that, then I'm going to take under 5.5 in the game with an exact score of 3-2 Columbus.
an exact score.
And that
Oh
is
boy.
plus 1,000 on DraftKings.
Oh, I
So I'm gonna,
definitely like the under a lot in that game as well.
so yeah, it's gonna be 3-2, and it's gonna be in overtime.
All right. Okay.
Lock that in, baby.
Lock it in.
All right. So the next game is Monday night at 5 o'clock. A little matinee session. We got the bad guys from Boston down on the island playing the Islanders. The Bruins are favored at minus 125, and the over is 5.5. What do you think?
I like the Islanders here.
Okay.
Again, I love the value in a home dog. About I got even odds before on that, and Boston was not super impressive in their first 2 games,
No, not at
and
all.
the Islanders were very impressive in one game, and then not impressive the next game. So we'll see. If they can bounce back. I think they can. They have enough talent, and they're very, very well coached. I think that's the advantage here in kind of an early season as some guys are trying to get the rust off a little bit. It's going to be more about how well these guys are coached and how well they play together, opposed to just these individual stars doing, all they can to win. But yeah, I'll take the Islanders there.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna follow you on that one and take the Islanders money line. Uh, definitely solid value there. So, all
Man,
right, and then
I just got one more pick for the rest of the slate. We're gonna go up above the border here for Montreal at Edmonton, and this is a pick 'em last I saw, and I love Montreal.
oh, okay, that's a 9 o'clock game.
This
Okay,
Montreal team is good, and Carey Price looks fresher than he has in years,
hmm
and that's a dangerous combination for the rest of the that Canadian division. Um, they had maybe the best off season of any team. They brought in a bunch of studs, and they're already playing very well together. They're sound defensively, and also they have an elite goaltender. This is a team that I think can make a lot of noise in the postseason this year. And then Edmonton, they have two of the best players in NHL, but past that, like what are they gonna do for me? And it's seeming like they'll McDavid and Draisaitl will do enough to win some games. And Sporting Cast, they do the thing every now and again, but like this team just allows too many goals and too many chances to really be a team that scares me.
yeah, it was really interesting to see though on opening night. Connor McDavid didn't really play too well. Everyone was ripping him on Twitter, and then next game comes out, drops a hattie.
Yeah, drops a hattie,
So
4 points, no big deal.
I
Draisaitl with 4 assists in that game too. They're just getting started, those two, but it's the supporting cast for me that's gonna be their downfall.
Yeah, it really all comes down to depth. I think I like the under 6.5 in that game. I think it's going to be like a
Mm-hmm.
4-2 finish.
Yeah, I could see
Montreal.
that. If Carey
Uh,
Price is on his game, I could definitely see it.
yeah. So then, lastly, I just want one more pick here. I like eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I'm taking Flyers puck line against Buffalo. Minus
Ooh,
1.5 at plus 155.
I
I'm on the screw Buffalo train, and I'm also all aboard the Flyers bandwagon. I think
the
they're gonna smoke them.
yeah, the Flyers are a good hockey team. They
hmm
are very, very good at hockey.
I'm
And
calling a
Buffalo, they're figuring it out. But
I'm calling a Carter Hart shutout.
ooh, wow.
Yeah, Buffalo. No, I don't see them scoring.
Well, Buffalo's not winning games because of their defense. So if they can't score goals, they're in a lot of trouble.
And the way last week went, Buffalo's gonna win like 4-1 or something like that.
They're gonna come
But
out and just dominate the entire game.
but only time will tell.
Oh yeah. All right. So, Alec, any closing thoughts? Anything else you wanna get into?
Um, yeah, I hope these picks do better. I apologize for last week. Every not everyone's perfect all the time. That I think the Blues kind of showed that with their game
Mm,
the other night. Uh, but I'm excited for some more hockey, and I'm really excited to see how some of these young players continue to develop. Jack Hughes is really filling into his shoes this season already. I love
yeah,
it.
he's already looking better.
He's all
Kakko had a goal the other
yeah,
night against the Islanders. So comeback season for both of them.
yeah. So I'm excited to see how all these players start to develop. Get into bigger roles, and I'm really interested to see if these games are going to continue to be as high scoring as they have been so far.
Yeah, especially up north, those Northern Division games are any one of those Canadian games is like must watch TV.
hmm
Like Ottawa looks like solid.
Where did they come from?
They made some good moves and then they drafted well. That's a team that honestly I would not be too surprised if they're hanging around that 4 spot come end of the season. That all 7 teams in that division I think are capable of making the postseason.
Yeah, it's like a Game of Thrones fight to the death every single game they
Yeah,
have.
really, and I love it. I think the Eastern Division is a little more talented overall with better teams, but just the individual talent up north and just the sheer fun of those teams. It's so much fun to watch, and it's
Yeah.
like it's awesome. It's great.
The one last thing I would like to point out before we part ways is that I said the Chicago Blackhawks are going to be the worst team in the league this year. They
Mm-hmm.
currently sit at the 31st spot in the league. Malcolm Subban does not look great. I mean, they did play the reigning Stanley Cup champions, but still, they just don't look that good. And they play tonight in the Florida Panthers season opener, and I don't expect much better from Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago. It's the end of the road for that. They had a great run, but it's just like Detroit had a great run a little earlier in this century. And look at them. They are dog shit right now. And I think that's where Chicago's heading. So we'll see what they do with their stars if they try. Hey, let's get some assets and rebuild, which is what I think they should do.
I
Um,
think they're gonna beg Joel Quenville to come back when they see him tonight.
oh yeah, it's like please, please,
We'll
we're
give you
nothing.
anything.
We're nothing without you.
But yeah, that's all I got for today.
Yeah, I think that's. I don't have any really nothing else that we need to talk about except that buckle up. This season's going to be a roller coaster.
But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure you look out for us on all social media platforms, all at Caps on Sports. Am I right?
That's right.
All right. Follow us on Spotify. I made all of my friends follow us on Spotify. You should do the same. Tell your grandma, tell your dog, tell your goldfish. Just tell everyone. It's a great podcast. We both have beautiful voices. Not as good as Steve Cangelosi, but still very, very good. Um, and yeah, that's really all we got. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Until next week, this was the fourth pair.
Peace.
Deuces.